Hello, I'm Dawn Porter. I am an author of that book, and this is Karin Slaughter, who's the author of this book. It's exciting.
Yes.
Look at us.
I think so.
But we're here today to discuss not books, but
Cats. Do you like cats?
I love cats. Self-confessed cat lady. That's wanting to bring it to the public forum to discuss what a cat lady is. No shame. Are you the same?
No shame. I don't understand it. You see incels online, and that's the thing they say is you're going to be alone with your cats. And
Great.
bring it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm never happier. So who have you got?
I've got a little guy named Dexter and a little girl named Grace. And we had one named Maggie, and she passed on last year in November. She was just getting really old and frankly verbally abusive, but we still loved her.
Peeing on everything.
Bullying the other cats, like slapping them. And I mean, the thing is, all three of them want to be an only cat.
Right.
And she was just a horrific bully against them. So while we were missing her and we feel her absence, I think they're a bit relieved.
Yeah.
And counting down, like, who's going to be next.
That's the thing with those old cats. My old cat that I lost in 2020 was she was so mad. She was so emotional. She was Siamese. She just sounded like a screaming baby.
Yeah.
If I left the house for more than 2 hours, she would just go on hunger strike or pee on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's time. Still absolutely devastated though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like literally the worst thing. I got her freeze dried. I couldn't let her go.
Well, it's a conversation piece.
Well, it is. And so she died in 2020, and then in a few months later, we also lost our dog that year, and then a while later I got some new dogs, and I had the cat freeze-dried, and she was beautiful, like just as she did on the day that she died, which was actually quite pretty. And she's curled up and she's in the dining room, and about 2 months ago I was like, what has happened to Lilu? And the puppies chewed her ear off.
Oh my God.
So she just went for plastic surgery,
Uh-huh.
and the place that did her built her a new ear,
Uh-huh.
which looks absolutely beautiful.
Oh, wonderful. Did they straighten her out? Because my cat, like, her spine was kind of like a Halloween cat, and we had to get her shaved down. The lion cut where they put the little pom-pom on their tails.
Amazing.
And and you realize this fluffy cat is actually like this small.
Yeah.
So did they return her to her grandeur?
They did. I mean, she just looks, so people keep saying, oh my God, it looks like a real cat. And I'm like, it is a real cat.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same. So she's kind of curled up and asleep. So eyes are closed and her ears are up. But you just made me think of a time when we were in, my husband was working in New York, and this place that we're renting said, you can't have cats here because she'll scratch the walnut banister. And I said, no, she won't. I've never seen her scratch banister. I managed to persuade them to let me have the cat there. And as soon as she walked in the door, she went to scratch the walnut banister. So I put these red plastic nail covers on her.
The caps, yeah.
So good.
How did that work?
She just was not bothered by them.
Really?
At all. She didn't mind them at all, but she just had a perfect manicure.
Ah.
I mean, it was special.
That's a compliant cat.
It is.
I can't. When I clip when Dexter's nails, it's a 2-week. I have to write down which nail I got because he just goes insane.
Just goes insane. No, she was pretty easy. She quite liked the pampering, I think.
Oh, okay.
But that's Siamese. I mean.
Well, Dexter's Siamese. I've never had. Well, he's mostly Siamese. I've never had a cat talk so much.
I know.
Just constantly talking.
Yeah.
It's a delight, and he does this little.
It's so cute. And when you're used to the sound of them, it's so fun. But when people come around, it's like, what is wrong with your cat?
Yeah.
Why is it making so much noise?
When I come home, it's like he tells me everything that's been going on, and he has complaints. But he's very affectionate too. I mean, he lifts his arms up, so I'll pick him up and hold him like a baby.
So great.
Yeah.
I love them.
I miss him so much.
When you meet someone who says they don't like cats, what goes through your mind?
Psychopath.
Yeah, absolutely. Who are you going to murder?
Yeah. But why is it okay to say that you don't like cats or you hate cats? Because if you said that about a dog, someone would just really not think well of you.
I actually say this in this book because it is one thing that I've always found so bizarre, is how you can have someone around to your house and they will see your cat and just list a string of insults about the thing that you love. Mm-hmm. It's like people who don't like cats just cannot help it.
Yeah.
And they're like atheists.
Yeah.
And if you're at a dinner party with an atheist, they have to go on and on and on about, I mean, I'm an atheist, but I learned not to be this dickhead. Mm-hmm. To go on and on about how this thing that this person believes in is just not true. And that's what cat haters do.
Well, I think the issue is they can't control a cat,
Yeah.
you know? So they're real control freaks, and they don't understand. Cats are very affectionate, but
Yeah.
you have to earn their respect every day.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what, you could have saved them from a burning building the day before, and the next day they're like, who are you? Who are you again? Your name?
It's
Yeah.
so true. You know when people say that with some people, like with marriage, I choose to be in this relationship every day, and that's basically a cat's attitude to
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
But with less love, usually. Yeah.
It's love. But people who hate them will always say stuff like, they're just, all cats generically are unaffectionate and they don't need you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, that's just not true.
No, it's not.
Are yours rescues?
One of them is a rescue. The other one we got when our previous cat was not doing well. So we had a friend who had, she wasn't a breeder, but her cat had kittens, and we got that one. And the difference between them is amazing, because Dexter was feral, and it took 6 months before he would even let me pet him.
Really?
Yeah, I would go out at the same time in the morning and in the afternoon and just sit with him for 30 minutes, and finally he let me pet him and
Sweet
feed
boy.
him. It took a lot of work, and I mean, biting is still his love language.
Yeah.
But the other one, she's just will flop around, loves to be loved, expects
So
everyone
cute.
to adore her.
And that's the rescue?
No, the
So he's the rescue?
He's the rescue.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
how old was he when you got him?
You know, I think he lied about his age.
Yeah.
He was about 1, I think. And he was really rangy, and his little butt was so. I've only ever had long-haired cats, and he's
Right.
got short hair, so I was like, is this normal for his butt to look like this
Protruding.
tiny?
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. With like, it looks like an
butts.
asterisk, because he's black.
Yeah.
So it's just right
Yeah.
there. He loves showing it to us. It's wonderful every day.
Every
But
day, my cats will do that. They'll get into bed with me in the morning and boo, my boy
Yeah.
cat will turn around and just like raise
Ooh.
his ass into my face.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's sometimes the first thing I see when I wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
It's really gross. That's my one thing that I hate about cats is their
well, they're
buttholes.
showing you the vulnerability.
There are other ways.
Yeah. Well, think about what they see.
That's
right?
true.
What message are you sending them?
Oh my God, they see a lot.
Yeah, yeah. It's a good thing they choose not to speak.
They judge silently.
Yeah,
I
that's
woke up this
true.
morning and both of my cats had somehow locked themselves in the bathroom. And when I opened the door, they were so active, so annoyed, so cross, so vocal, like I had stuck them in the bathroom. And that kind of judgmental, blamey, my life would be okay if it wasn't for you, that they can sometimes throw at you, is really overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's like,
But you know, you just got to deal with it.
It's
who
true.
they are.
if you could have as many cats as you wanted, how many would you have?
You know, I think you can't have more cats than people, because they get really upset. Well, maybe you have enough love to give. I don't have that much love to give.
That's an interesting concept.
Because having 3 was really, they all need undivided attention.
They do.
And they're so jealous.
Do yours go outside?
No. Well, we have, so there's a place in Canada that builds cat habitats.
Love that.
And it's a cage, and I have this beautiful courtyard that has a cat door that goes out to this little area that's a
so
cage,
good.
and it goes all along the perimeter of the fence. Yeah. And it has many off-ramps, otherwise it would be basically a cage match with all the cats.
That's so good.
And they go out, and there's a lot of cover for them behind trees and things, and so they can just scare the shit out of the
love it.
squirrels.
That's what people get really inventive in LA as well, because there's so many coyotes. I actually let my cats out, which is really controversial. I realised as soon as I got them, keeping them inside was impossible. They were just not interested. We've got these big doors that open into the garden. I was like, with kids opening the doors all the time. So I'm going to put trackers on them, and I'm just going to let them live their life. And where we live, I've never seen a coyote. Of course it could happen, but I'd say they've got their best shot at living their best lives. They're in the local park all night. Myrtle, my girl cat, was up a tree for 2 days last week, just like watching the squirrels and the birds. And luckily nothing bad ever happened to them. But people in the hills in Hollywood, they build these, one guy I know is dug down, so he's got the tunnel that goes from his bedroom all like into the garden and up into one of those like...
I support that.
I do too, that's brilliant.
Yeah. We have coyotes. I'm in the middle of Atlanta, but we have coyotes, hawks, that will take a...
Do you think a hawk would take a cat?
Well, I saw one take a chihuahua once. Yeah. It was horrific.
That's horrific.
Yeah.
Did it get fully away with it?
No, because it was really tubby. And so the hawk was like, and the chihuahua was like, 70 stitches on this chihuahua. Yeah, I mean, it was really, it's kind of funny to think about, but then you think about this poor little dog.
Wow.
And she recovered, always terrified of birds after that.
Was it your dog?
No, it was a neighbor's dog.
Wow,
yeah,
that's really bad.
But we have a lot of hawks, and so when Dexter showed up, we kept seeing like a killing field with all these bodies, and we thought it was the hawks because they will decapitate a squirrel and just drop it, sort of like an omerta.
Wow.
But there were rabbits, all kinds of things. But once he came in, he wanted to stay in.
Yeah.
I think he was like, you know what? I've seen the life on the streets. I want to be here where I have a bed and food and.
God.
Yeah.
I mean, that's scary out there.
Yeah.
It's scary for those cats. So when you're writing, are your cats around you?
No, because, you know, cat never wants to be with you unless you're doing something that would require a cat not to be there. And so, like, they'll just sit in front of the monitor, or they'll try to get it. If I have my laptop, they'll try to sit on top of it. So I have to leave the house. I go up to the mountains. I have a cabin in North Georgia.
Okay, well,
and
this sounds really dreamy.
Yeah, it is. It's totally dreamy. Surrounded by nature, beautiful, yeah.
And that's where you write? That is wonderful.
Every book since the first one, I've gone up there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how long is that drive?
It's only a few hours.
You drive a few hours every day? Or when you're writing?
No, I just stay up there.
You stay up there,
yeah.
so it's more, right, okay, so it's how dreamy.
Yeah.
God, that's lovely. I have my cats around me when I write, and I really like it. Lily used to sit on the desk with me when I wrote, but my boy cat now keeps knocking glasses of water over. So his favourite thing to do is, when I'm fast asleep in my bed, is to knock the glass of water over onto my head at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Either that or drop a rat onto my pillow, which he did a few months ago as well.
Beautiful.
But the water thing is like this consistent theme that she walks along surfaces and just like, that should be on the floor, smack. That should be on the floor, smack. But I can't have anything on my desk. But I still love having him around. So it's just this constant battle of like moving things out of his way so that he can walk across and type something and just be a general nuisance.
So he's trained you very well.
He has. I love him. I've got two, Myrtle and Boo. The girl cat, Myrtle, is really aloof. In LA, I didn't see her all day. She'd come in for food in the morning, never saw her again. She's been absolutely devastated since we got these two rescue dogs. Hasn't come in the bedroom since. They flew across the Atlantic last week, all four of them on a plane, and now she's best mates with the dogs. What happened on that plane? What did they do? There's some sort of heroic situation where the dog saved her life, and she was like,
it's more likely she just tortured him the whole time, and
Yeah,
they learned their place.
Yeah, maybe. It's very cute though.
Yeah.
When dogs and cats live in harmony, it's pretty great. When they don't, it's horrific.
Horrible.
Have you got dogs?
No, I love dogs. I just don't want one.
No.
It's a lot of work. Yeah. Dogs are like always there, and
their energy is sometimes the most stressful part of my day is the dogs needing to go out and needing attention from me. And I just lock myself away with the cats when it all gets too much. Like, shut the bedroom door and let the dogs just sit out there and just sit in there with the cats. It really calms me down, like stress balls. Like, I feel bad for people who don't have that in their lives.
I know. They don't know what they're
I
missing.
know, what do they do?
Hurt people.
They kill people.
Yes.
That's it.
Psychopaths.
Psychopaths. Have you always loved cats?
Always, yeah. We had dogs growing up, but my mother hated them. I didn't realize that.
Wow.
And we would have them, and then she'd be like, "Oh, Sparky went to live in the country," and she just would give them away.
Yeah.
And we're like, "Oh no!" So I had this like
Sparky.
this loss of permanency with animals, and that's the great thing about cats is they'll just stick with you forever.
Yeah, because they're loyal.
They
Unlike
are.
what cat haters say they are.
Yeah.
Disloyal.
Like if you were going to go into a knife fight, I definitely want a cat, because a dog would be like, "Yeah, I'm here," and then just get distracted or probably lick the person you were trying to kill.
Their eyes out for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of relationships with human people, if your partner was to have a cat allergy,
No.
you couldn't do it, could you?
No. Take a pill.
Take a pill or just find someone else.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. They have those hairless cats,
I
and
do love them.
and yeah, they're kind of well. Let's be honest. They look like a ball sack. But they are very affectionate.
I love those too.
Yeah, ball sacks. Oh yeah. But
for sure.
there are ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times people say they're allergic. They're not.
They just hate them.
Yeah.
It's just easier to say that they're allergic.
Yeah.
Those naked cats, we used to have one up in Scotland, or my dad's best friend used to have one up in Scotland, a Devon Rex. This is like I try to rescue wherever I can, and I'm on a list for one of those. But it might be where I just end up getting one, because I promised, part of moving back to England was this promise to my eldest kid that we'd get a naked cat, and they're so amazing. This one called Jimmy that we had up in Scotland was just so full of character. And once you've got past what it looks like, they're really, really fun. But the Devon Rexes have got like this kind of just very, very thin layer of fur, so they're not completely naked.
Oh, like a peach fuzz.
Yeah, but the really naked ones just look like they've got like doing workouts all the time with their massive muscles. They are very weird. I do appreciate that people aren't comfortable with those.
Do they get cold, I wonder?
You have to put sunscreen on them.
Really?
I think so.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, like a ball sack. Yeah.
Like a ball sack if you're sunbathing,
Yeah.
like in frog position.
Yeah.
Which is another visual that I really want to get out.
Yeah. I hope that we have drawings to accompany this.
Definitely get some drawings. Definitely animate this.
Yeah.
Just those lovely ball sacks.
Yes.
But yeah, I can appreciate why people don't like those cats. They are weird, but it makes me really want one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of sunscreen would you use? I mean, hypoallergenic? Or
Hypoallergenic, really.
like SPF 90?
I'd say you'd have to.
Yeah.
There's,
Well, they should have sun shirts.
Are you on Instagram or like TikTok? Do you watch loads of funny videos? Because once you've started watching all the naked cats, it's my favourite thing about the internet are the funny cat videos.
That's why it was invented.
So good. Like, there was one I did the other day where this cat just jumped off the back of this car. They're filming people, but this cat in the background just tries to jump off a wall and doesn't make it. And I've just probably watched it about 60 times. It's so good. But I would never put a picture of my kids on the internet, but unlike my animals are just...
Yeah. Well, I mean, you care about them.
I care about them.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. I'm willing to show love publicly for them. Are you big into posting pictures of cats?
I do. That's all I do is post pictures of cats and occasionally say, oh yeah, I have a new book out.
It's good promotion though. I think if you mix up like cats, then like self-promotion, people are more receptive to it rather than just continuous book chat.
Yes.
Because you disarm them.
It's very boring to just have book chat, I think.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But if you can just like keep with me, because it's Cats, Funny Cats book.
Yeah.
Cats, Funny Cats book.
Yeah.
But no, I've never been able to get like a viral hit from my cats yet.
Let's try. When you get your ball sack cat, I'll promote it too.
I need to get a ball sack cat and then do that thing with the cucumber.
Oh.
Have you done the cucumber?
I don't. I would never scare my cat like that.
Oh, but it's funny.
Yeah.
See, I do like to laugh at them. So if anybody doesn't know, it's a whole like TikTok thing where you stand behind your cat with a cucumber, and when it turns around, it thinks it's a snake or something, and
It just freaks out.
freaks out.
Yeah.
Which you're obviously a much nicer person than me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the cucumber is their natural enemy.
Why is it so funny? Anyway, it didn't work on my cats.
No?
Boo literally turned around and went like, "Why are you waving a cucumber at me, you freak?"
That's a California cat.
Maybe it's a California cat. I need to try something else. But no, I was hoping to get a little viral hit there, but they don't really do anything funny.
No.
I'm never awake when they do the funny thing of dropping the rat on my pillow or pouring the water on me. Also, on Instagram, you know when people are like, who's filming themselves when they're asleep?
Yeah, that's weird.
What's happening? Have they just set that up for this one purpose, or are they just filming themselves when they're asleep?
There's got to be other videos. I don't know, maybe you should get an OnlyFans page.
Maybe.
Yeah, that would be very successful.
So in terms of like, sorry to bring it down, but in terms of like losing pets, so you lost your cat last year, like what's that process for you? How are you afterwards?
Well, it was horrible because I was out doing an event and away from home, and so I had to FaceTime with her being put down at the vet. I know. So I'm sobbing.
Who was
on
with her?
the FaceTime. My partner and a friend, and I was just like snot dripping down, sobbing, and then I had to go do an event. It was great.
That is awful.
My face is swollen, and I'm trying to, not let anybody know.
Oh, why did you not want anyone to know?
Because I thought I would start crying again.
Right.
I mean, she was almost 20 years old, so
Wow.
she had a good life.
Yeah, it's still like 20 years of you loving something that's not there anymore. So
Yeah.
it's like, I feel that almost like the longer they live, kind of the harder it gets.
Yeah.
But oh, that's so sad. I felt so. But did you feel like, was there any part of you that thought, people aren't going to get it if I say I'm this upset because it's my cat?
Oh no, I didn't worry about that
No.
because they'd be unfeeling monsters.
Yeah.
I know it was more like I don't want 80 photos of me to go on the internet where I'm sobbing and, I look red-faced and horrible.
Were your friends great about it? They look after you?
Yeah.
Isn't that so sweet?
Yeah.
I think that's, my really close friends kind of turned up with flowers and cards and things, and I was like, that's actually what inspired this book. So I was just like, this is really real. Like, I'm properly grieving.
Yeah.
This is, I think with pet grief compared to people grief, obviously it doesn't last as long and you build your life around it quicker, but that first week especially is like, it's totally, it floors you. And so if anyone is to act like it's not a big deal, I think that those friendships would have had to end. Like, it was such a big deal. And having since gone through it, since anyone's pet die, I'm like, I'm all over them. I'm like, you're experiencing real grief. This is valid. I'm here for you. We could do whatever you need to do. But yeah, and then stuff them.
Yeah.
That's generally my advice.
Well, we did this thing where you can get their paw print and
So
and have that on my desk. I have that from I had a Maine Coon who was
amazing.
24 pounds. And he was so big, when I was at the kitchen counter, he would put his chin on the counter, stand on his hind legs because he was that long.
Yeah.
And he would spoon me at night, which you think is wonderful, but he was very hot.
Right.
And it was very sexually confusing at a time in my life. I didn't need that to like roll over and there's this like, solid cat with a dad bod going, "Good morning," So that was... probably more than I should say.
Yeah,
but
no, but
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I absolutely do. I get I stick my face into under the armpit of my cats, and sometimes I'm so I go at them. I just love their bodies so much. I get really in them. I'm like, what would this look like if someone was to walk in?
You just have a camera all the time.
I need to film myself sleeping.
Yeah.
And to see what I get up to.
I bet you there's a fetish page for sniffing cat armpits. You're leaving money on the table.
We all just know that exists, don't we?
We do.
Yeah, I need to find it. Is there anything else you want to say about cats? I feel like we've covered a lot of ground.
I think we have, yeah. They're important, vital little creatures.
And people who don't like them are murderers. I think that's what we've
just
established.
psychopaths, just straight up psychopaths.
Yeah. Well, good to speak to a fellow cat lady.
Yes, thank you.
Safe space. It felt good.
Yeah.